Sequels are a very scary thing to talk about. Look at any game, movie, or even YouTube videos for that matter, and tell me its sequel is better. You can't. So, going into Halo 2, I was a little scared. I thought, well, they can't mess up the series yet, right? Boy, I was right. They don't mess the series up until... So, how did we get into this position? Halo Combat Evolved came out in 2001. As you saw in the last video, if you haven't watched it, go see it. It was insanely popular. It sold over 5 million copies in less than 4 years. That's almost 1 million copies in 1 year. That's insane. Bungie, being Bungie, of course, said, well, there needs to be a sequel, which I can't disagree with them. It was selling extremely well. So what exactly did they do? Add everything back from Halo 1 that was scrapped. That's it. Just kidding, of course. They wouldn't do that. They had to add a whole bunch of new things. So let's get straight into the game so I can explain this. I opened my drawer while making this video only to realize, wait a second, this isn't the normal box art. This was some sort of metallic-y box. I looked it up on Amazon to see the pricing and... Hot mama! $200?! What the fuck?! So apparently I had a limited collector's edition of Halo 2. Well, that's cool. Here's the thing though, how can I review the box art if I don't have the regular game? Then the Holy Savior arrived. I googled the box of Halo 2 and we're going to review it. We're also going to be reviewing the collector's edition since I have that. Let's go. As you can see, on the front of the box is Master Chief and he is dual wielding some guns, which we'll get into later, over a beautiful... Is that city burning? Oh. Whatever. On the back of the box, you can see some gameplay and some new elements of gameplay that they added. Overall, I really like this box's look. It's very pleasing and nice. I love the color of the background and everything just looks really, really pleasing. Now something I can touch with my hands! The Collector's Edition. I don't usually mess with Collector's Editions, but Halo 2 is one I can sort of get into. Halo 3 also did a Collector's Edition, actually it was 2, and they were both kind of better than Halo 2's. But what is actually cool about this Collector's Edition, you might be asking? Well, look, the back of the box has some cool artwork. Yep. That's the coolest part of the Collector's Edition. After opening the case, we can see the disc and 2 manuals. The first is Conversations from the Universe, which, as cool as it sounds, is just Halo lore, and to be honest, I could probably pull this up online on 2 seconds. Boom. Easy! The second manual is what a manual is supposed to be. As I said in my Halo 1 review, it's a manual. It says a lot of cool things about the game and has a little bit of lore snuck in there too, which is really nice. I almost miss manuals. Too bad they're never coming back. Oh yeah, this collector's edition also has a Conker's Live and Reloaded advertisement in it. You think I'm joking, but bam, there it is. Remember when people thought this game was going to be good? Yeah, nope, me neither. There's also another advertisement for the soundtrack, which to be honest is fair because this is absolutely a banger. There's also one more thing in the box, which is a 7-Up free Slurpee. Oh my god! I've just read the expiration date, which is December 2005, which means this expired, about 15 years ago. Overall, the box is pretty alright. I think it's actually better than Halo 1's, and I thought that one was amazing. However, I don't understand why the Collector's Edition goes for so much. It's so basic. I mean, look at the cover. If I sit here and don't play music or speak, try not to fall asleep. See what I mean? There's not much to be said. It's just too boring and gray. Oh, and wake up. Alright, let's pop the game in and try it out. Alright, second time's the charm. Let's actually play some Halo 2, shall we? Alright, let's do it. Well, we're back here again. Yes, the Master Chief Collection was where I played Halo 2 for the first time. You already saw that I played Halo 1 in here in the last review, so it won't be much different. Let me explain everything again real quick. Obviously, yada yada, it's the same game, blah blah, you can switch the graphics back to their originals, so it's fine, blah blah, anniversary editions of 1 and 2, so it's okay, yin yang ding dong, let's play the game. The only difference with Halo 2 and the Master Chief Collection is that the Anniversary Collection was the first time we've ever seen an Anniversary Collection of Halo 2. So let's just go on and play the game. Obviously a big spoiler alert for anyone again for the second time. If you don't want to be spoiled, skip this part. Let me give you some seconds again. Alright, Halo 2 starts off with seeing some Covenant elites in the city of High Charity. You see a commander being dragged to the 3 high prophets, Truth, Regret, and Mercy. He is the heretic for spreading lies to the Covenant, or at least that's what they think. The 3 prophets are angry at this elite commander for not doing his job in stopping Master Chief in Halo 1. They strip him of his rank, and Tartarus, one of the Covenant brutes, gives him a mark of shame. Now we see Master Chief's perspective. Chief is getting awarded for the events of Halo 1, and then Cortana says that there are 15 Covenant ships outside the UNSC frigate. The frigate then goes to the city of New Mombasa to fight off the troops led by the Regret Prophet. This is actually the second mission of the game. We go back to the Elite Commander, who now gets a chance of redemption by the other two prophets to become what is called the Arbiter. This is the highest rank in the military of the Covenant, and the Covenant must protect them at all costs. It's basically a president. The Elite takes the chance and is now the will of the Prophet. As his first duty is to assassinate a heretic leader, he tracks down the heretic leader and finds him. The leader tells the Arbiter that the prophets have lied to him. 343 Guilty Sparks returns, and he comes mid-battle to speak about some of the claims. Before you can, the heretic leader is killed. Tartarus takes the Arbiter and Guilty Spark, which is very, very bad. Oh no, Wheatley's in the evil force's hands. Oh. Turning to Chief again, we see Miranda Keyes' ship. Miranda is Captain Keyes' daughter, and to be honest, she has a lot more character than Captain Keyes did. I know, I am kind of rubbing in the fact that he died and I don't like him, but, well, it's true. Anyways, the ship comes out of slip space, and Regret, not knowing that he has been followed, leads the UNSC right to another Halo ring. That's right, the second Halo. Wait. Is that why Halo 2 is called Halo 2? Because there's 2 Halos! Ah! I must be getting ahead of myself. Regret is actually planning to activate Halo himself. Wow, would you look at that? And surprise, surprise, Keyes tells Chief to kill Regret, in which he does in the game with one little smack on the face. Awfully anticlimactic, I know. Chief then escapes the Covenant after they found out that he killed Regret, and he falls into a lake. He then gets taken by some tentacles. Wait, tentacles? Oh no. I've seen too much on the internet to know where this is going. Chief, just wait a second. I'll be there in a second, bro. Now we see the Arbiter story, and gee, does this story like to switch perspectives. He is near the ring, and the Hierarchs declare Regret's death to be the Elite's fault, which caused the Brutes to become a higher rank than the Elite group. The Brutes are new to Halo, but they were obviously going to be the main villain team. Guilty Spark is taken out by the other prophets, and they ask him how to activate Halo. He explains to them about the Sacred Icon. Or the Index, as they should call it, and then the Arbiter must go get it. So they kick him out, and off he goes! After seeing the Flood for the first time, god dang it, they're back! And then getting into the library like Halo 1, he gets the Index. Just kidding, Tartarus is here! The furry dude explains to the Arbiter that the Hierarchs intended to send the Arbiter on this mission to actually kill him. Dun dun dun! Now that the plan has been revealed, he knocks the Arbiter unconscious, and the Arbiter gets set down a shaft. Master Chief's story is now back, and oh god, is he okay? That's not where I thought he was going to go before, but an interesting approach. I'll be honest. What is that thing? My guy looks like the Goomba from the Super Mario Bros. Movie mixed with Squidward tentacles. I am literally peeing my pants as I look at this thing. Anyways, this thing actually has a name, believe it or not, and the name is the Gravemind. It is the controller of the Flood. And look, he's brought a friend. Oh, it's the Arbiter. This marks the first time Chief and Arbiter are together. The Arbiter questions himself after learning Halo's true purpose, which was not saving life, and actually destroying all of it, and joins the fight with Master Chief against the Hierarchs and the Brutes. The Gravemind sends Chief and Arbiter to 2 different places. Where did they go, you might be asking? Well, here's your answer. Chief is actually sent to the Bahamas, Puerto Rico, Chicago, the city of High Charity? Oh, okay. To get the Index once more. The Arbiter is sent to the control room of the Halo ring to stop the Covenant from activating the ring. That is a lot of nouns. Master Chief is on a mission after Truth and Mercy flee, and Chief gets to see the fight between the Elites and the Brutes. This is also the point in the game where Breaking Benjamin's Blow Me Away plays in the room while the enemies are fighting. The Flood uses one of the UNSC ships to crash into High Charity. Chief finally finds Truth, and he finds Mercy in the middle of being infected by the Flood. This is quite similar to another death in the franchise. Can't remember. Truth goes to Earth to finish what they, being the Prophets, started. Chief then leaves Cortana behind, promising her that he will come get her. This is also one of the most famous lines from Halo, which is,
"Don't make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it."
This is also the setup for Halo 3, but we'll come to that in a later video though. The Arbiter is teleported near, but not quite, to Halo's control room. He finds dead elites, which were definitely killed by the Brutes. He fights the Brutes and finds the Scarab, which is one of the Covenant tanks you fight in the New Mombasa mission. Sergeant Johnson, the UNSC Sergeant Major, is actually controlling the Scarab. The Covenant and UNSC forces are finally working together after fighting in this long war, just so they can stop the Halo activation. I love this part. This was the part of the game that actually pulled me into the entirety of the Halo franchise. But anyways, the Scarab and the Arbiter blow up the door to the control room, and the Arbiter confronts Tartarus. This is when 343 Guilty Spark comes in clutch, baby! He explains everything, counting the truth to Tartarus, and he's even more angry now. He also tells Tartarus that they need a person to activate the Index to activate the ring. You know, maybe Guilty Spark isn't so bad after all. Tartarus then takes Guilty Spark, shuts him up, takes Miranda Keyes hostage, and forces her to activate Halo. Tartarus and the Arbiter have a fight, this being the final battle of the game, in the control room. By the way, I really hated this fight. It was stupidly easy and more confusing than it was difficult. Don't believe me? Here's the entire boss fight sped up. Once Tartarus is defeated, Keyes grabs the index and Guilty Spark says, "Because it didn't go off, it defensively turned on all the other rings in what is called the Halo Array. They can all be remotely activated from the Ark." Keyes, Johnson, and the Arbiter ask Guilty Spark where the Ark is. This ends Halo 2's campaign. There's no Warthog run like last time, but it still ends perfectly. I'd even say it was better that way. But yeah, that's the end. Just kidding! Chief is on a Covenant ship, and he reaches out to the UNSC. Here takes place the greatest scene and dialogue of the entire Halo series. Take a look.
Master Chief, you mind telling me what you're doing on that ship?
Sir, finishing this fight.
Tell me that wasn't cool. Tell me that wasn't cool! So yep, that ends the Halo 2 story. For real this time. Like I said last time, it's probably better if you play the game instead of taking it from me, but that's the best way of explaining it. I can't even begin to tell you what I felt after playing this. So many feelings. I love this game. This game honestly makes Halo 1 look like complete child's play. It blows it out of the water by miles. This is the best Halo game out of the franchise by far. Every scene and the gameplay is so memorable. Now, let's go a little more in depth on everything they've added. Now, obviously, I won't go over any of the past Halo 1 stuff because that's all showcased in the Halo 1 video, which, by the way, if I didn't mention, you should go watch. Instead, I will be talking about only new things. Let's dig in. The characters in this game are so much more fleshed out than Halo 1's. You feel some sort of connection to every single character in this game, which makes it feel outstandingly good. You go to Halo 1 and go, when you think about the characters. First up, the Arbiter. Holy crap, the Arbiter is so good. They made his character arc so awesome in this game. He goes from being a heretic to high in the Covenant ranks, to being lied to by the Prophets, to saving the universe with Master Chief. He's such a fleshed out character that I just love. His gameplay is also extremely fun because you can go invisible and be stealthy, unlike Master Chief, which is just shoot, shoot, punch, punch, go, go. And I love it. The Arbiter is definitely my favorite character in the series, not counting Master Chief, of course. Miranda Keyes is very, very good in this game. As a successor to Captain Keyes in Halo 1, she is so much better than her father. She has much more personality, unlike Captain Keyes, who basically just ended up dying from the Flood terribly in my eyes in Halo 1. I love her character in this game because it's just much better written, similar to Cortana. Sergeant Johnson was fixed up and got more personality from Halo 1. He maybe had 5 lines at most in Halo 1, but in Halo 2 he's a funny, witty guy who's a soldier helping Master Chief throughout the series. I love his character. He's probably my 3rd favorite in the series for that matter. He's just such a goofy character that everybody loves. Tartarus is absolutely annoying. I mean, he is the main antagonist of the game, so I should feel that way, but he's honestly a worse character than Guilty Spark. He's the prominent brute of the group, who is the main group you fight near the end of the game. He was the main plot twist of the game. He did stupid stuff. I still don't like him if you can't tell by now. Gravemind is cool, I guess. Scary, but cool. The aliens are basically the same, but they do add a few new flood monsters and the brutes, which as you've seen and heard are a huge part of the story. The new flood monsters are as annoying as to fight as the original forms, but it makes the flood feel scarier and more unexpected because you don't know about these new forms, so I'm really glad they did it. The regular monsters are still cookie cutter and they don't really change a thing about them. Well, maybe for the lines. There's no more and which makes me a little sad. However, they are much more focused on in this game, and it makes them just have a little bit of personality, and it almost makes you sad to kill them. Now, onto the weapons. The first new weapon is the battle rifle. It's basically the assault rifle of Halo 1, so you really only use it when you need to. Then you can switch out to something better and much more helpful, like these. The SMG is new, and is helpful in sticky situations when you feel like just ramming down a group of enemies. This weapon is basically a lawnmower to the enemies. I believe I used the SMG the most in my Halo 2 run, actually. The only complaint I have with the SMG is that it's a very basic weapon that would almost look straight out of Fortnite. Oh wait, it's actually already in. Or any other shooting game. Otherwise, great weapon though. The Brute Shot is really only used for the Brute. It's a grenade launcher and it helps a lot towards the end of the game. This gun saved me multiple times on multiple occasions towards the end. I give my thanks. The Sentinel Beam is also pretty alright. It's used mainly for the Flood, and it can be pretty busted sometimes when you get it, believe it or not. The Carbine is new as well, and it's basically an assault rifle for the Covenant, so it's pretty decent, but I'll switch it out 95% of the time if I find something else. A lot of people like this weapon, but I'm part of the contrary. I hate using it, and honestly, it just doesn't fit well with me. Now, something that changed the Halo franchise forever. The Energy Sword. Similar to a lightsaber from Star Wars, this thing cuts straight through anything. Well, except for walls. You can't cut through walls. However, you won't see Darth Vader using this sword. It's mainly used in the Arbiter levels in Halo 2, but this weapon is definitely a staple to the Halo franchise. I mean, look at anything Halo related and tell me that it isn't there. It's so iconic to Halo. It's only for Halo. This, right next to the Needler from Halo 1, is the Halo weapon. It is the definition of Halo and something that I can kill people with. The other guns stayed basically the same from Halo 1. There wasn't really any other difference except for dual wielding! I never thought I'd have to use my other hand this much! Yeah, they added dual wielding to Halo. It's extremely helpful and is probably one of the best additions to the Halo franchise yet. And let's be real here, for 2004, dual wielding was extremely insane. It might be in other shooters, but Halo really changed the whole dual wielding thing by making it not too broken, but good enough so it really has an impact on gameplay. They added a few new vehicles to Halo 2, and also made a few changes to the ones in Halo 1. The Banshee is much more impactful on gameplay in Halo 2 than in Halo 1. They fixed up the Banshee very well, and also made you fight some in game too. It also controls much better than Halo 1's. The Ghost now has boost capabilities, which makes the Ghost faster than a Warthog or a tank and makes you more agile to get to places you need to go to. It's a great upgrade from Halo 1, which made the Ghost just seem like a slightly fast hover bike. Now it's an even faster hover bike! You can now control the Wraiths found in Halo 1 as enemies, which is super cool. It's only in the Arbiter levels, but it's still super awesome to control. The Wraith is basically an explosion tank for the Covenant, if that makes sense. I love how the Covenant has their version of literally everything the UNSC has. It doesn't matter if it's a vehicle or a weapon. It really puts their perspective in and makes it a lot funnier. They also added turrets, which you can shoot stationary with. Pretty basic, I know. Literally any shooting game has some sort of turret. Halo is part of this group, unfortunately. But the turrets are a cool addition. The gameplay is basically the same from Halo 1 for Master Chief, but on the other hand, the Arbiter has completely different gameplay. You get new weapons, new allies, new maps, and you have to be pretty stealthy too. Basically, Solid Snake Doom mode. However, it feels super cool to see another perspective, especially it being the Covenant, which really makes you think, maybe these guys aren't so bad after all. For being the main antagonist group in the original game, seeing the perspective on them really switched up a lot. They even did the whole dual perspective thing right too, which makes it really nice to play through. I'm looking at you, Halo 5. Mission-wise, this game has more missions than Halo 1. It has 5 extra missions compared to Halo 1 and somehow still beats it in repetitive level design. As I said in the last Halo review, Halo 1 has a terrible problem with repetitive level design. Halo 2 smacks that out of the park and fixes that issue, which makes this game even better to play than Halo 1. Every level introduces something different, shows off different landscapes and enemies, uses different weapons, etc. Even the parts where it feels like you're back in Halo 1 places feels new. I absolutely adore this game's level design. Halo 1 can't even slightly compare. They're even on the same console, which is funny to me. The OG Xbox could handle a lot, but Microsoft did not use enough power from it for Halo 1. Anyways, I think there's at most 2 levels that look similar in Halo 2. That's incredible for being on the same platform as its predecessor. The soundtrack in this game defines Halo soundtrack. If you thought Halo 1 soundtrack was good, just listen to some parts of Halo 2's. It really shows what Halo can be. The instruments, the motifs, the drums, everything just comes together to make up what Halo music should be. Martin O'Donnell really blew out my eardrums with this amazing music. I could listen to Halo music for literal hours. As I said before, Halo's music is really what defines Halo today. Halo might not have been as good if they went with some like orchestral music or something. The soundtrack tradition of keeping Halo be Halo still continues with Halo 2. Closing off this review, I just really wanted to state the point. I love Halo 2. Halo 2 is definitely what made me like the franchise so much. After beating Halo 2, I had a totally different perspective on everything relating to Halo. If I didn't clarify it enough in the last review, you need to play this franchise. It might look like a normal shooter on the outside, but once you dig deeper, it is totally different. I mean, heck, I thought this too, and boy was I wrong. Halo 2 changed what I perceive as a good game even today. Now, my final review and my final thoughts, right? Yeah, this game is a 10 out of 10. There's nothing to be said for the other scores people give. I would even give it an 11 if I really could. But anyways, Halo 3 is up next on our list in the Halo franchise. This is the end of the main Halo trilogy. The games after that probably didn't exist. Or so we can hope. The end of this trilogy is near, so let's see what they can do to finish the fight. You get it? Because, like, that's, like, the line for Halo 3. Alright, time to find some Halo 3. I'm not looking for you. Oh my god, where's Halo 3? Oh, there you are. Okay, hang on.